When you look at today's world, there's a lot of negativity. Now the question is, especially, well, let me dial back a little bit, especially on social media, video platforms, everything is based on negativity. Negativity seems to sell in drones. Now here's a question I ask myself, you know what I mean? I ask myself, is the negativity being pushed by these platforms, or is the negativity coming from the people that are on the platforms? I think it's a circular thing. You understand what I'm saying? And what I mean by that is this. The people driving the negativity, they're the ones that's putting it on social media. They're the ones that's putting it on these video platforms and stuff like that. However, these entities, platforms, and video platforms and all that, they realize that negativity sells. Negativity sells big time, and I'm gonna break down some of the things that I'm seeing on there. I'm gonna go it from just the social media platforms and then the video platforms. Let's start with the video platforms. Negativity sells, and people are taking total advantage of that. The thing is, they're not looking for a solution, because if they look for a solution, then the situation is solved. So then who's going to come back and look at the stuff? So a lot of it is ambiguous. A lot of the stuff you see, like on the video platforms, is people talking about canceling people. People are talking about this person is bad, or this person is horrible, or or this person is, something is wrong with this society, something is wrong with this generation. But nobody, absolutely nobody, have no real solutions. So it's kind of ambiguous. They just throw out all the negativity there and they just leave it. Therefore, for you to sit down and for it to fester in your head. And people are going to these things looking for a solution, but it never is a solution. They just leave it open-ended, because they're going to make another video coming up about it, and another video coming up about it. So there's no real solutions. So the negativity permeates, and it gets worse, and it builds up. And everybody seems to feel helpless because there is no solutions. And nobody wants to think of a solution, because people get into this victim mentality and they just stay there. I'll give you a perfect example of that. Like I sometimes watch these dating coaches, because it's they're kind of funny. Like all they do is look out for the red flags. She's using you. He's taking advantage of you. He's doing this. She's doing that. And they come up with this even more ambiguous ways of how to fix things. You know what I mean? Don't call somebody. Call somebody. Wait a couple of days. Don't look needy. Don't. That's not solutions. You can't put on people certain things, because you can't just generalize. You got to take in consideration background, people's culture, religious beliefs, political affiliation. You have to take in consideration all of that. You can't just say blanket, this is all, this is it. Everybody's like that. And there's never a solution. Well, actually, in their case, there is a solution. Walk away. Don't put up with that. This, that, the other. So then what's happening here is people are going and looking for the red flags, you know what I mean? Or looking for signs of like human behavior is sort of predestined, that's the way they're going to react, and that's the way it's going to be. Now, here's where I think the circular thing happened, because a lot of people who watch these things end up doing what they say to do. So it's a case where people are complaining about dating, and then you go on the website, and then they give you all these ambiguous things, and then it comes back to you to act on those things. So that's where the circular thing is concerned. And why it's circular is because there's people taking advantage of people's insecurities, people's doubts, people's fears. Fear sells, man. If you scare people into certain things, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I know some people say, oh, it helped me, it helped me. No, it didn't help you because most people are still single and still struggling to date. It's not helping you. The divorce rate is still high. If it was helping so many people, then how come we still have those issues running around? Oh, they're going to say it's because nobody's listening, nobody's listening. Because when people apply those things, you realize it doesn't work. They should be telling people how to communicate with each other and phrasing it in that sense. Instead of telling them, don't do this and don't do this and walk away. Oh, the power in walking away, blah, 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 blah. Seems like we're all so scared of living that we stop living. And that's just crazy, man. I'm sitting here thinking, when have I ever, it's been a long time, years, that I've sat down with somebody and talked to them and have had a really in-depth conversation that at the end of it, there's a solution that comes from it. I'm not saying every situation should have a solution, but my God, there's got to be some. People sit and they argue with each other all the time, and they do it on social media, and then they put it on these video platforms, and all this argue. I do YouTube, and I'm always talking about peace and love, always talking about peace and love, and people will argue with that. And granted, my stuff don't get big play because I talk about peace and love. I'm not instilling fear. I'm instilling some kind of hope. If you do that, nobody's going to pay attention to you. They ain't trying to hear that. They want all that drama. And I know I'm being I'm generalizing, but proof is in the pudding. Just look around you. And also dealing with people on a day-to-day basis. Listen, I don't know if negativity makes people feel good. I don't understand it. I used to work at a grocery store, right? And I listen to people talk. And it's people talking about their problems. It's people talking about which generation is crap and which isn't. It's people talk. One of the big things people talk about is the health. Oh, and they always try to one up each other. I'd say 1 out of 100, I hear somebody say, I'm in good health, man. You know, I eat this and I eat that. Like, for instance, me, I try to eat healthy. I eat vegetable and stuff, and they mock me for it. And then later they complaining about, oh, I have diabetes, oh, this is wrong, oh, that is wrong. But they ain't doing nothing to solve the situation. They wallow in that negativity. And I'd see people and stuff, they haven't seen each other for a couple of months, and the first thing they say, they don't say, oh, my life is going good, you know, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, or I'm doing the other. The first thing they're going to, oh, you hear so-so-so died, or you hear so-so-so is in the hospital, or you hear so-so-so is in jail. Listen, I was gone. I went on vacation. And this customer walked up to me and says, oh, I was wondering where you are. We thought you was in jail. That's where you're going to go? Right into the negative stuff. She thought I was in jail. She didn't say, hey, were you on vacation? Where'd you go? Did you have fun? What'd you do? Not straight to the, I thought you was in jail. So then, people who do social media, well, not so much social media, because social media is just people on there venting about stuff 99% of the time. But on the video platforms, a lot of these people, they see that and they go, let's make some videos about it. I don't have a solution, but it works in my favor because I could be ambiguous, and they'll keep coming back for more, looking for the answers. They'll keep coming back looking for the answers, more clicks, more money, more sponsorship. Everything is surface level, and that's the problem there. Nobody's getting to know anybody. Nobody's sitting down and having conversations with anybody. Everybody's just liking what they see, and that's in general. That's not just dating. That's just in general. That's why so many of these people influencers were able to get on there and pretend to be rich, and everybody's like, yeah, they're doing good, because they go by what they see, not by what's underneath everything, or how is that person getting there, what are they doing. Like I was watching a video on this one couple was just going from state to state shoplifting expensive stuff, like what, $1 million worth of stuff when they finally caught them. Because people don't go into the deeper, you just see the material stuff and go, ooh, that's it. I have I haven't watched television in at least 20 years. I haven't. And every once in a while, I try to see what programming they have. And every program they have is based on drama and turmoil and toxic behavior. And it's all dark now. There's very few shows where it's bright. The lighting is dark. The storyline is dark. Everybody's trying to backstab everybody. Or something about dead people, how they coming back, apocalyptic type stuff. Everything is dark because it sells. And people think the positive is when the person who they proclaim to be the good guy, and even that is ambiguous anymore because you can't tell whether somebody is good or bad. There's always somewhere down the middle. They're always somewhere down the middle. Oh, he's a bad guy, but he does the right thing when it counts. Do you know how many characters I see like that? Like if a character is just solely good, somebody's taking advantage of him. There is a drama. And maybe there's one or two people that are there on his side, but then they tell him, man, you too nice, man, you gotta hurt, you know what I'm saying? Instead of going after the person that's causing the issue, they're telling the person who is a good person. They're the ones that needs to step up and go down to the level of the idiots. Well, I hate to say it that way, but oh well. Negativity sells, and that's the problem. You go on face, I ain't even name the thing, but you know what I mean, those social media platforms, and people are on there arguing about everything. Men are complaining about women. Women are complaining about men. Older people complaining about the younger generation. The younger generation complaining about the older generation. And it's just, and nobody's trying to close that gap, man. Nobody's trying to say, like, when I go on there, I post stuff about love and peace. I post stuff about romantic love. Not the, don't get used, don't do this. There's a whole world out there. Does anybody pay any attention to what I post? They definitely don't like and share. But if I was to say something really sarcastic or something like funny at the expense of somebody else, like, ha ha ha, this is funny, huh? It's exhausting. And that's another thing with social media. Is it social media that's causing the problem, or is it the people that post on social media that's causing the problem? It's both. Because what they post in, the drama that they post in, is causing people to stay on the site as longer, which means that the longer they stay on the site, the more money the site owners make. Everything is based on negativity, man. And like I said, even if something positive happens, it's a positive that comes out of negativity. Nothing that just starts positive and ends positive anymore. There has to be some kind of drama, push and pull. And I'm not saying this is new. It's amplified now because we have social media and all of that. It's kind of like always been like that, but still people used to, because I don't remember it being like this when I was a kid, and that doesn't mean it was better back then. That's not what I'm saying. All that stuff was still going on, but at least, there was a happy medium. That's gone. Because happy don't really sell anymore. And you can't even watch a sporting event without something going on. You go to kids' little games and people are out there just throwing punches. Parents and stuff are just carrying on and acting a fool. And of course, there's somebody with a camera who's going to put it on social media instead of what about the kid who hit the home run? You rarely ever see anything about the kid who hit the home run anymore. Unless, of course, it's based on, yeah, he's a prodigy, you know, he's going to go to the league. Instead of just a kid out there having fun. It's a struggle to have a positive outlook. Because I'm telling you, when you have a positive outlook, those negative people, they cling to you, boy. And I don't think they're clinging to you because they want to bring you down. Some of them do. But they cling to you because they want to suck all that energy off of you. But it's not helping them because they're going right back to all the other people that's doing the same or negative stuff. Almost every place I work is like that. Like I would walk in there and I'm always smiling. I'm always willing to help people, you know, always try to cheer people up and stuff like that. They see that as a weakness, man. They don't see that as a normal human trait. Everybody's got to be on guard. And those platforms and social media, they recognize that and they're exploiting that. And people are feeding into it. Just one day, everybody should go on these social media platform and strictly positive stuff. See how that's going to work. And believe it or not, a lot of these things, they poke at it too. You know, they slip in their little negativity there to get stuff going. Now, look at memes. Every meme, mostly every meme, is sarcastic. Every meme is about something negative. And the phrase that that's the thing. People who write these memes are really good writers. Because even though if it's something negative, they slip in a little bit of positivity within the wording. So it looks like it's positive. It looks like it's a solution to something. But it's not a solution to anything because it's making everybody paranoid. They think if they tell you, oh, if this happened, walks away, that's helping somebody. That's making people think that everybody is like that and you have to be on guard constantly. And a lot of good people get caught up in the mix because not everybody's perfect, so people will make mistakes. And a lot of people walk away from good people because they're on guard so much. Most of the people I have close around me are good people because I get to know them. And I realize that people aren't perfect. They make mistakes. As long as the mistakes is not so detrimental that it actually derails you and derails me. And it's a lonely world when all you could think of is peace and love. It's a lonely world, man. I don't mind a little drama. When it's fiction, you know, a little bit of it here and there is good. But once those social medias and video platforms start mirroring, absolutely, completely mirroring toxic life, even comedic, even sitcoms. And is there still sitcoms? I don't even know. I don't watch television at all. Is there still sitcoms on TV that actually makes you laugh? Stuff like In Living Color, so that just makes you laugh. You know what I mean? See, a lot of these they make it so that you think surface level. but you don't go deep enough to understand what is the situation. But society as we know it is based on surface level stuff. Somebody's nice to you, you wonder why they are nice. I don't wonder why somebody is nice to me. But if somebody come up to me and says, you're a nice guy, I wonder what they want. Not because of me being suspicious, because the society is kind of like that anymore. And that's kind of sad. However, it doesn't mean that I'm going to write them off. I'm going to still get to know them to see, well, hey, what's the vibe here? You know what I'm saying? Trust is something you build. It's not something that comes automatically. People just expect to trust people when they first see them, and that's not, nah. It's something you build with a bond, with getting to know somebody. People don't do that anymore. That's getting to know people enough to trust them. They just see something and trust it, and then stuff goes haywire later. And I'm talking about really deep relationships, you know what I mean? I trust the next guy walking down the street that he's not going to just stop and start pounding on me. I trust if across the street that the person driving is not going to speed up and run me over. I trust that. That's trust. I trust the bus driver to be sober while driving. You trust every day. But we can't just sit around here and keep blaming social media and all of that, because we are the engines to it. What we have to watch at is, are they escalating the situation because it helps the bottom dollar? And I think that's what's happening. But then that's just me. And that's just me ranting as usual. I wish I could just find, that place where there's so much peace of mind. I hope you're able to find that place too, man. Because sometimes I think, man, I'll just go into the rainforest and live by myself. Don't deal with human beings, but no man is an island unto himself. I would be so bored without other humans around. Which is ironic because I'm around a bunch of humans and I still feel alone. So it's a rock and a hard place. And there's a lot of us like that out there. I guess we're going to just have to figure that out, huh? And I'm going to end this by saying this. Let's take care of each other, man. We're all we got. At the end of the day, we're all we got.